Benvenuti from Ischia, a small island off the coast of Napoli.
Most people come here to go to the beach, to relax at the spa, but not us. We came here for a very special challenge. It's called the Four Corner Challenge of Ischia. We picked 4 different locations in the 4 different corners of Ischia that we're going to visit using our scooter. You're also going to see that at the end of the video, we're going to show you an extra location to celebrate the challenge.
Are we going to be able to do it in one day? Let's not waste any more time. Let's go find out. Andiamo. We are in the town of Panza, and we're going to our first destination. Andiamo.
Let's go. This way. Let's begin this descent.
The Baia della Pilara. We are not discovering it. This is a destination that is definitely known. We spoke with a woman who works at a salumeria. She said that over the past couple years, tourists have started to come here. It's not a super popular spot to come spend the day because you need to hike to get there. It's only accessible through this hike that we're doing now. Otherwise, you can take a boat, but it's still not super popular just because of the walk that you have to do to get here.
We went through a pretty steep path in the beginning, but that only lasted for less than 2 minutes. And it might be a little bit longer, obviously, on the way up. Then there is this part here of the path, which is the main part. It's almost walking through a forest. When people come to Ischia, they usually visit the most popular bays, the Bay of Sorgeto, very, very close to this bay that we're visiting today. But they don't come to these small spots because sometimes they might be difficult to access, or they might not be equipped to welcome a large number of tourists. I'm very excited to see this one today. Oh. There is a path, but let's just say that nature has taken over. Now this is where the path does change a little bit, I think.
And you can already start to see a little bit of the baia, of the bay that we're gonna see.
Oh yeah. The local Pro Loco. The Pro Loco is a local association that you can find all over Italy. Every town tends to have one, and what they usually do, they do work to improve their local infrastructure. The Pro Loco of Panza, the town where we're in right now, decided a few years ago to make this path more accessible, and they installed these ropes all around the hardest part of the walk so that people can access the bay more easily, even though we're still struggling a little bit.
Every day that I spend here in Italy, I learn a little bit more Italian. After doing this trail, I learned the word lucertola, which means lizard. Why did I learn this word? Because when you are walking this trail, there are these lizards everywhere. They never come near you. When you're walking, you hear them everywhere, and you see them going very quickly into the grass, into the bushes. They are everywhere. Wow, look at this view.
If you think that the rocks behind me look a little bit curious, well, that's because Ischia is a volcanic island. That means that the geographical formation and the rocks that are present on the island were formed through a mix of lava coming from the volcanoes in the Campi Flegrei and the water erosion that happened over thousands of years.
The nice thing about coming to a place where there's not a lot of people, there's not a lot of boats, is that the water is crystal clear. It's May, so you can go swimming. The water is cold, but you can do it. Today there's not a lot of sun, so we're not gonna go swimming, but let's go touch the water. Let's go see. It's a little slippery. Woo! Switching locations. I couldn't reach the water from the other side. You have to do a little climbing down here. Oh. Let's feel the water. Fresh. It is fresh. you can definitely go for a swim. You have to be careful because there's a lot of waves coming into the bay. There's a lot of rocks, so you need to be very careful. Probably the best thing to do is either swim very quickly out when there's no waves, or go down a little bit more and jump in where there's a little bit less waves. I could easily pass the whole day here, just laying on the rocks, going for a swim, but we have much more to see on the island of Ischia. We're gonna go to our next destination. Let's go. It feels really good to be on the scooter, getting a little bit of wind. And now we're off to our next destination in the town of Lacco Ameno. Let's go check it out.
Lacco Ameno. Here we are. The reason why we picked Lacco Ameno as our next stop is that we want to see a very special rock formation. A rock formation that is inside the water. It's called fungo, or mushroom in English.
What's very particular about this rock formation is that it's made of tuffo. And if you watched any of our walking tour videos in Napoli, you might remember that Davide very often talked about this material, tuffo, because a lot of the buildings in Napoli are made of this very material. This rock, il fungo, or the mushroom, was made from the volcanic activity of Monte Epomeo. What happened is that it fell into the sea, and then when it cooled, it formed this very particular mushroom shape, giving it the name il fungo.
All right, another location of the Four Corner Challenge completed. Let's move on to the next one. Here we are, the third destination of our Four Corner Challenge around Ischia, the Castello Aragonese in the area of Ischia Porto. As it is the case all over Italy, even this castle has a history that dates back centuries before Christ. It was the Greeks first that came here, then the Romans, and then after them many other population. Up until in the 1400s, the Aragonese family that ruled southern Italy took control of this small island and the castle on top of it. They added a very important component. The island was finally connected with the bridge that we see today to the rest of the island of Ischia. This bridge was very, very important because it allowed more people to go to the castle more frequently, and in fact, almost 2,000 families ended up moving and living in the castle for many, many decades. After the Aragonese family left, the castle went through very difficult times. It was bombed by the British. It became a prison with the Borbone family when they ruled southern Italy. Finally, it was abandoned up until after the unification of Italy. It was sold to a private family that still owns it today.
This next part of the road is a little bit tricky, but it's gonna be worth it once you see where we're bringing you.
Here we are. This is the fourth spot of our challenge. We're climbing here in an area of Ischia called Campagnano because we have a very special view that we want to show you. Not just one in particular, but the whole area of Campagnano.
Right now we are on another path. It is a trail that starts in Campagnano and brings you to Piano Liguori. It's a really beautiful and kind of wild trail. It's actually pretty well maintained and very easy to follow, but it brings you along the side of these beautiful vineyards with the Mediterranean Sea right next to you. In terms of a hiking trail, you can't really ask for more than this. It's so stunning and feels so magical here. It's also very quiet. There's nobody around. It's a perfect place to come in the morning before you spend your day at the beach to just get a little exercise and take in all this amazing beauty here in Ischia. With Ischia being an island, you would think that many of the people who live here would be fishermen. And while there certainly are some fishermen on the island, there's actually many more farmers. That's because agriculture is a huge industry here in Ischia. One of the biggest crops is grapes. And you can see the vineyards all over Campagnano. This time of the year in May, there's no grapes yet. It's still a little bit too early. One of the farmers we talked to said they're still working on getting the branches just right for growing. But come September, October, the grapes will be ready for harvesting and soon be made into the delicious wine that the island is famous for. The type of farming that you see here on this side of Ischia, with all of the grape trees growing on the cliffside of the mountain, is called heroic farming. And that's because doing this kind of farming is very difficult. It can be difficult to get water to the crops, to harvest the crops, and there's always the risk of a landslide or your crops even falling. So the people who do this, we really have to thank them because it's incredibly hard work.
Well, Marissa, we can say that we officially completed the Four Corner Challenge of Ischia.
Woohoo!
We started at sea level in the Bay of Pelara, where we were able to feel the water.
Then we climbed slightly to Lago Ameno, where we saw il fungo, or the mushroom, emerging from the sea.
After that, we went to Ischia Porto, where we saw the small island with the Castello Aragonese on it, and our climb kept going up.
And then we climbed even higher to Campagnano, where we saw the beautiful vineyards overlooking the sea.
I think we're done, right?
I don't know, I feel like there's something missing. In fact, I think we need to go a little higher.
Okay, I think I got the spot for you. It's called Monte Epomeo, and it's the tallest peak in Ischia. Should we go?
Let's go.
Let's go. As we approach Mount Epomeo, I just want to ask you, if you enjoyed it, let us know. If you liked this video, let us know. We're always really happy when people tell us about this. What are your thoughts? Climbing Monte Epomeo might sound like a tough walk, a tough hike, because it's the tallest peak in Ischia. But really though, it's no more than a 30-minute hike going through a forest, similar to the one we've seen earlier this morning. And then the last part of the hike, it's really beautiful because you get to see some of the fields, some of the agricultural products that are produced in Ischia. As you approach the final part of the hike, you reach the top of Monte Epomeo, where you get to see the whole island, all the different towns of Ischia and the sea of what is considered, at least personally, one of the most beautiful islands of the Mediterranean.
We really hope that you enjoyed seeing all of these places. We certainly had an amazing time. And if you ever make it to Ischia, why don't you try it? You can try the Four Corner Challenge, see if you can do it all in one day. And maybe you can add some stops of your own.
Well, thank you very much for watching. We will see you on the next one. Ciao.
Bye.